I think we're getting started. Good morning, Mike. Mike? I'm going to do a short introduction. We'll have a huge day. And I know if you've done your homework, you know who you're going to listen to, more or less. But our first speaker this morning is Mayumi Oda. We've done several print projects at the Donkamill Art Center on her images. She's been an activist for the last 50 years, and she's 25. She's only 50 years old, so 25, that makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayumi Oda will start right away. Thank you very much. She even takes their shoes off.
Wait a minute, is there somebody there? You know, from last night, it's very hard to follow, to give it, you know, this talk. So let me just first give a Hawaiian chant. Ho mai kai ke paparua e. Ho mai ka ini paparua e. Ho mai ka mana paparua e. Ho mai Oh my kapaparua e. Together they say, Eola! Eola! The life. Life is so important for us. In Hawaii too. The most important is to life continuing for other generations. 7 generations ahead of us. 7 generations behind, and more than that. So thank you for all the work you've been doing, and I'm grateful. And in Hawaii, I think usually introduce who you are, who's your lineage is. So I'm a Japanese-born, native Japanese from Tokyo. My family lived there for 15 generations during the time of Tokugawa, and very cultural people. And that was my maternal side, and my paternal side also lived in Tokyo too. So both come from that lineage. And I came to United States in the 60s. The time of incredible movement in New York. And then went on to, I was married, actually. Some of you know a man named John Nathan, who was a translator of Kenzaburo Oe and Mishima Yukio. And I was his wife. So this is the print. I think I made it I'm still in college. I went to Tokyo University of Art, National Academy of Art in Japan. I didn't like school because I loved my husband. It was more fun to be with him. And so this is myself and my husband. And it's called a vow, the asking a marriage. And it seems like I was still in the school, and I studied, actually, I went to university and went to the design department, which was combined with a craft at that time. It was very, very difficult to get in university, and I prepared 2 years ahead of the time, just drawing and drawing and drawing. I could draw anything I see. You know, till my nail got using dark pencils, so nail got all, worn out. It was that much work, we had to do it. But I loved it. Loved to be able to paint like the grasses with the fluffy things and the flowers and anything, you name it, and we painted. So that's sort of like the tradition I come from. Then I went to the university in the design department, and I was really stunned that kind of like old-fashioned things that I had to study. So fortunately, I studied. The only thing I liked in the university was they had a beautiful museum that you can see all the wonderful things. It was associated with the National Museum in Ueno. So we could see all beautiful Japanese traditions, and that's how I studied. Really going through the museums and seeing all the beautiful things, especially the design of Edo period, rimba school, koetsu, just wonderful, wonderful things. And that's how I came. And then the 60s, I was introduced to the world in New York. So that you can imagine the New York in the 60s. And my husband worked for the place called Grove Press. And that was the time of the underground movement. And Grove Press was just very kind of amazing place with all new things coming in. So I come from very crazy background. And then Harvard, my ex-husband went to Harvard, so I went to the Cambridge, where the women's liberation happened. So I was introduced to America in a very fresh way, and I combined into my art. And I liked all Japanese art, so I just going through it so you can really see it. This is all, the Japanese ukiyo-e copy work. I was a good mimic, and I can copy the Japanese woodblock, ukiyo-e, and things like that. So the courtesans, very much Rimpa influence. So it was because of the women's movement. The power of the women was very, very special, and I also had a baby myself, and as a natural childbirth, and it just felt the immense power as a woman being able to show, and that's something I've done. And so a lot of image of goddesses came, and it was the right time, and I hit in the very right time. And not myself, but all women, so probably some of you here too, were very, influenced the women's movement. So these are the product of the time. So I just really combined all, so these are courtesans. And, this is all I've done in silkscreen, and it's here we are in a woodblock conference. Why I'm here, I wondered, and so I told Setsuko, I'm not a woodblock printer, I'm a copier of a woodblock. Utamaro's book, work, and Sharak, I just copied way that I can do it, my way, which is, in order to make a big size, silk screen was very convenient. And that's how. These are all pretty much like a 2 feet by 3 feet, so it's pretty enormous. And I could not make it with woodblock. So then my family was a long-time Nichiren Buddhist, and so I practiced, I was brought up as a Nichiren practitioner, and so the Buddhism became a very big part of my life, and then I started meditate and do the yoga, all the things probably some of you went through to, transform yourself as a little more happier person in general. So I did a lot of Buddhist deities. And these are, Samantabhadra, type of goddess of fertility, Ebisu. This is a very, very traditional Japanese deities, and you see them all the time. They're still playing a lot, and they still have mantras they practice in Japan. Where especially I live now half of the time in Nara, so these things are still very much part of their life. So this is a Kuan Yin. As my friend is right in a garden that I did a lot of meditation. I studied, I ran into Buddhism in Green Lodge, San Francisco Zen Center's Green Lodge Farm. And some of you might see it, my book, Divine Garden, is there. It's about the life that I had in Green Lodge Garden. And farming, farming is to bring out the life, the eola. So these are two deities that are very famous for the laughing and making a joke. It's a Chinese deity, Hanshan and Shite. This is a Hanshan and Taku Shite. This is half size, so it's like 1.5 feet by, not big as much as the other one. The treasure ship was very special to me. It's usually the Benten, the Saraswati is the one right on it with the 6 other deities. And I just unloaded the main deities and then the female deities. There's like a lot of kind of fun things to do to make a joke about my own culture and being really a patriarchy, so made into more like a female things. Because this was so much the part of our history in the United States. And so that I was involved. So these garden series, I think, is probably was the hardest work I did, putting a silk screening is my size. It's 2 feet screen is big, this big, and probably I pulled it from side. And it also has from there top, it's like other, almost like a bokashi effect with it, so that it becomes like a green. This fog into the green leaf. And this way that you can show some of it. And it's probably, this supported me in many ways that, because these prints became rather, it just went, people bought it right away. And it's a good thing to have a nice life in your life, in your house. So a lot of people collected, and I don't think I have much left anymore. And so it was a way that the print was a way to support myself as an artist, so that I didn't have to take other jobs, And it's been incredible resource for me, and I hope resource for everybody too, that you can make. Also that you doing additions, so there's so many people use it, the art is more useful in that way. So I've been thinking about what is the art that I can really help people. So recently I'm doing a Hawaiian series, which is the one that relieves your pain. All the people, mother-in-law, the father, or a lot of people dying out now. A lot of toxics that we accumulated, and especially as an anti-nuclear activist, I feel that we accumulated a lot of toxin. The culture is really fear-based. Now we're pretty happy here, but United States, in the mainland, people are really, Mr. Trump is doing an incredible job telling people that fear is no longer, it's just creating fear makes incredible money, from insurance to the medicals. And so I love to go instead to really encompasses the love, life, Eola. And so the last I'd like to offer my chant of Saraswati. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajevel Vajeni Pati Dinama Vitriyavatu. Have compassion and creativity, hope to transform the world. And thank you.
That was a nice way to start the morning. Good morning, America. By the way, thank you, Mayumi. You notice there were only a few men images, so maybe none at all. That's why you're speaking here. It might have been a different world if the women were the dominant force. Thank you very much.